Alright, what is going on, my broskiis? My name is Toadskii, back again, here to bring you guys yet another One Piece Treasure Cruise video. And what you're seeing on screen is Japan's brand new Sugo Fest that will be arriving on the 27th of February, and I'm not 100% sure on the Sugo Fest structure of Japan. That's not what this video is about. This video is going to be the complete discussion of all of these brand new Germa characters. So literally, as it went live today for the 4th anniversary for One Piece Treasure Cruise Global, friggin' Japan had this data download which brought along all of these brand new characters in a Sugo Fest. Now, it's kind of interesting because a couple of days ago they announced that there was a Germa 66 ship going to be arriving, and a lot of people were suspecting, you know, it makes a lot of sense to actually release a brand new Germa batch because of what's been happening in the anime recently. The Germa have been going ham, and it makes a lot of sense that they are going ahead and giving a brand new Sugo Fest to the Germa characters. Now, I think a lot of people are going to be pissed because it means, you know, it's a whole batch of Germa characters that you have to try and pick up. And just before we get into this as well, each of these characters have a super evolution straight off the gate. There's going to be an event where you can farm for their specific skulls and super evolve them. However, the main legend of the batch, which is a dual unit, Sanji and Judge, are not super evolved characters. They will stay as their 6-star form. All of the Germa units, though, in Yonji, Ichiji, Niji, and Reiju, all of them will be super evolving. So in this video, we're going through the entire batch, giving my thoughts and opinions on them, and basically that's going to be it. So let's go ahead and start breaking down each of these characters. This is the first character here, which is going to be Yonji. Now, Yonji is actually pretty good. Like, they're all really, really good characters. The thing is, though, is we're not going to be talking about their regular 5-star form. We're only going to be talking about their super evolution state. And the reason for that is because they are direct upgrades to their original form. Like the previous Germa batch, when they super evolved, they became like different units altogether. This time around, when they super evolve, they're just straight buffing them. So essentially, when you pull these characters, you want to super evolve them straight away. I do know off the bat though that this particular Sugo Fest will be a 2x Legend Rate Sugo Fest. So I can kind of suspect at this point that for our French anniversary in August, this is likely going to be our Sugo Fest on One Piece Treasure Cruise Global. So this is actually very, very interesting. So let's go ahead and get straight into it. So the first character, as we said, we were going to go through Yonji. So Yonji, this is his 5-star artwork, or 5-star plus artwork. Looks absolutely amazing. His captain ability isn't really too worth. We're not going to be talking about this character's captain effect, but it's basically like a 2.5, and it can give an additional 1.2, I think. I'm not 100% sure how it works, but I know it's nothing really that amazing. We want to be talking about all of their special abilities. So shout out to Koala-san over on the One Piece Treasure Cruise subreddit. I'll have that up on the side here, and I'll be reading you guys the information of his special ability. So Yonji's special ability will max out at 13 turns with Limit Break, and it states that when the crew consists of 6 powerhouse characters, and all of the characters have this effect. So when you're running, you know, this entire batch, you need to make sure you do have a full team of powerhouse. So when you have a full team of powerhouse, reduce 5 turns of Bind, Despair, and Attack down on the crew. Already there, absolutely phenomenal. On top of that, when your captain or your friend captain has a tandem orb, for 1 turn, boost the color affinity of your crew by 2 times. Holy crap. This unit's insane. Oh my god. Well, obviously with this whole batch, they all synergize really well together, and this batch is really geared towards getting tandem orbs, because the way that the new Germa ship works is that if you have a recovery or a tandem orb, that unit gets an additional 1.1 times attack. So when you're running the Germa ship, you get so much damage output with this team. And now, this unit states that, you know, when you do have all those powerhouse characters, you get that amazing utility, Bind, Despair, and Attack down, all amazing to get rid of. And also the fact that he will give you a 2x color affinity boost to your entire team. That is literally a rainbow 2x color affinity. Now, you can actually run this guy on like any team that you want. It's just the fact that you need to make sure that your friend captain or your captain have a tandem orb when you activate the special. So there's going to be some tinkering to see how that actually works. There is going to be a unit that is going to be released that's a support character that enables you to get tandem orbs much, much easier. But so far, straight off the gate, this Yonji is extremely impressive. Okay, so I just went ahead and translated for myself what his crewmate abilities are, and oh my god, this is absurd. So his first one reduces 3 turns of special bind, I believe. Could be wrong on that one. His secondary one, though, is insane. It's stating that if you have one of every color on your team, then I think it is powerhouse characters will treat Dex Orbs as beneficial. And of course, with this whole team, you're gonna have one of every color if you're running all these units on the same crew. So Wow, this character is extremely impressive. I can't wait to get into the rest of this batch. Next, we have Niji. So this is his 5-star plus artwork. Looks so goddamn good. Captain ability is very similar to Yonji's, nothing really too exciting. His special ability will state that when your crew consists of 6 powerhouse characters, for 1 turn, boost attack against enemies with defense down by 2 times. Okay, that's half of his special. Obviously, these characters have the same sort of format going, where they have one effect if you have 6 powerhouse characters, and another effect if you have a tandem orb on your captain or your friend captain. With this guy, obviously, as we just said, 2 times defense down conditional boost if you have 6 powerhouse characters, and when your captain or your friend captain has a tandem orb, changes all orbs, including block, into tandem orbs, and for 1 turn, treat tandem as beneficial to your entire crew. Boy, dude, this team is going to decimate so much content. The thing is, though, I don't see too many situations where you can actually go ahead and use these guys on other different teams. Obviously, utilizing the fact where you can have 6 powerhouse characters on your crew, that is obviously very easy to fulfill, but making sure you have a tandem orb on your captain or your friend captain, that's going to be quite difficult to fulfill, unless if you have some way to generate a tandem orb and then move it to your captain somehow. It's going to be quite hard to utilize these units outside of their own team. So that's going to be the only thing that I can see being a problem. But like so far, this batch as a whole is working so well together. 2 times defense down conditional booster. And this guy will grant you all the board of tandem orbs and also treating them as beneficial, which doesn't matter too much because like if your captain's getting tandem, I'm sure there's going to be a lot of ways for this team to actually get matching orbs. But either way, I do think that Yonji is a little bit more impressive because of his amazing utility and also the color affinity, but this unit is still going to be providing a lot of damage output to the Germa team. This guy, I think that is also going to be a special bind removal, and I assume this is also going to be the same special effect where it states that if you have 1 of every attribute, then powerhouse characters treat quick orbs as beneficial. This batch is looking freaking phenomenal right now. And now we move on to Ichiji. So Ichiji, obviously his artwork right here looking quite fine. This is his regular 5-star work, but when you go into his 5+, that artwork is god tier. I absolutely love the 5+ Ichiji artwork. I love it to bits. So this guy, again, same captain effect like the other guys, nothing really too noteworthy there. His special ability, like the others, is a 13-turn max. So his first condition, when you have 6 powerhouse characters, for 3 turns, do 120 times his attack to all enemies at the end of each turn. That's for 3 turns. How much attack does he have? 1584, so we go ahead and get the calculator real quick. 1584, and then if you give him cotton candies as well, so plus 100, and that's times 120, so you do 200,000 damage at the end of the turn for 3 turns. Like 200,000 damage is no joke. I mean, that's actually quite good because you can use that to bypass resilience effects and stuff like that, so I'm actually a pretty big fan of that. That's really cool. And his secondary effect states that when your captain or when your friend captain or your captain have a tandem orb, completely remove the defense down, resilience on all enemies, and delay enemies for 2 turns, and for 1 turn, make defense of enemies 0. What the heck? He does so much. So is it reduced defense down and resilience, or is it just defense down resilience? It's really poorly worded on the subreddit, but it looks like he completely gets rid of defense, which is the blue shield buff, and completely gets rid of resilience, which is fantastic. It's kind of weird that he gets rid of resilience when he himself does end of turn damage. Don't really understand why they're doing that specifically. Either way, it's a very useful ability. And also, as we said, delays enemies for 2 turns and 0 defense for the enemies for 1 turn as well. Obviously, you can use quick Nichiji and the strength Ichiji together, so you can have your 2 times conditional boost against defense down enemies. So amazing, absolutely amazing. And these characters likely have the same crewmate abilities of 3-turn reduction of special seal and also strength orbs beneficial to all powerhouse characters if there's 1 of every attribute. So this team is looking absolutely phenomenal. I'm loving this team so far. Now we move on to Reiju. So this is Reiju's 5-star artwork. Obviously Reiju looking absolutely mighty fine. Then we go to her 5-star plus, and oh my god, just take my heart, Reiju. Reiju is she's a powerhouse shooter. That's really interesting. I didn't even look at the classes. Ichiji is also a powerhouse shooter. Are they all shooters? Yo, what? Okay, he's a slasher. Powerhouse slasher. Okay, that's interesting. And powerhouse striker. Okay, so they've really changed up their classes from the previous units. Okay, so Reiju is an int powerhouse shooter. Captain effect, very similar to the other people. So Reiju's special ability starts off, or maxes out at 13 turns with her limit break, and it states that when you have a full team of powerhouse characters, she will poison all enemies, and that's actually pretty decent. And it also states that for 2 turns, reduce incoming damage by 70%. That's actually really freaking sick. I mean, her original version also did that, so I don't know why they're bringing that sort of ability back, but damage reduction, always a big thumbs up for me. I'm actually a really big fan of that. So yeah, that's only when you have 6 powerhouse characters. She poisons and reduces damage by 70% for 2 turns, so that's pretty nice. And then when your captain or your friend captain have a tandem orb, reduce 5 turns of defense up. Okay, so I think that with Ichiji, it was only remove resilience, because if we have Reiju that removes 5 turns of defense up, that doesn't really make a lot of sense. So she removes 5 turns of defense up, percent damage cut, and damage threshold cut. Wow, that's amazing. So she has really good utility to remove defensive effects from the enemies, as well as reducing damage taken and poisoning the enemy. So again, I mean, that's actually really nice. Poisoning is always really good because it allows you to bypass resilience stuff, and obviously you only need 6 powerhouse characters to do that. So I think Reiju actually has the highest potential to be used outside of the Germa team, I think. Obviously, this is just like preemptive reading of the character, so we don't know exactly how well they're going to be synergizing with some of the other characters in One Piece Treasure Cruise, but I'm a big fan of her kit so far. 3 turns, looks like 3 turns of special bind, and will obviously, like the other characters, when you have one of every type, you will treat int as beneficial to all of your powerhouse characters. So very, very impressive stuff from the Germa batch in terms of their rare recruit characters. And now we move on to the main man, or the main men themselves, in the dual unit, Sanji and Judge. Man, I love this artwork for this character. Hang on, we can go here and do this, and we can see the full artwork, man. Really well done. And it's actually kind of interesting, because last night, a lot of people on the subreddit were like suspecting that, you know, this was actually going to be happening. And I kind of threw it out there. I'm like, oh, maybe they'll do a dual legend with a new Sanji and a Judge, but I don't think too many people suspected them to be a dual unit, Sanji and Judge. So a lot of you guys are going to be wondering, what the hell do these guys do? So these characters, powerhouse fighters, makes a lot of sense. Their captain effect, this is their dual captain effect. They are going to state that if you have 6 powerhouse units on your team, boost powerhouse characters' attack by 4.25 times. Also, give them a 1.25 times health boost if you have all colors on your team. And also, Psi, Recovery, and Tandem Orbs will be beneficial as well. This character will output so much goddamn damage, especially because when they combine and when you use their special ability, they do combine for 3 turns, which is a big thumbs up. I would be kind of pissed if a legend dual character didn't combine for at least 3 turns. So in terms of their special, 14 turn maxing out, will state that it boosts the attack and orb effects of powerhouse characters by 2 times for 1 turn. Straight off the gate, they're going hard. 2 times attack and orb boost, absolutely phenomenal. And on top of that, will also reduce paralysis by 5 turns. So that was like one of the only other debuffs that this character didn't really get rid of, or this team didn't get rid of, was paralysis. None of these units get rid of barriers, which I think would have been awesome if at least one of them got rid of maybe 1 or 2 turns of barrier. Other than that though, like that's the only real gripe I have with the batch so far, is that there's no barrier removal, but it's not really that big of an issue because you have pretty much everything else to deal with. And the thing is that, you know, you might need to use one of these characters on earlier stages to get around certain debuffs, but it's not really that much of a problem because with a multiplier like 4.25 times for this character, as well as so many other characters giving you a 2 times either a affinity or a 2 times conditional boost, these characters give 2 times attack and orb boost. Like, this team is going to decimate a lot of content, and it's really, really impressive. Really impressive. This one will give 75 stats to a certain class, or maybe all characters, and his secondary one will state that he's going to treat Psi, Tandem, and Recovery beneficial, maybe to himself, or maybe to all powerhouse characters. Either way, he's going to be very, very nice for himself as a Psi. I don't think it's going to be himself, because he himself is a Psi character. Both Judge and Sanji are both Psi units, so this is the first dual unit where they're the same color. So Sanji Psi and also Judge will be Psi. And the fact that he has a crewmate ability that makes Psi, Recovery, and Tandem beneficial, it's likely going to be for a separate class. Okay, I just did a quick translation of this, and yes, it is powerhouse characters. When he's a sub, Psi, Recovery, and Tandem beneficial. So 3 orbs beneficial to 1 class as a sub is phenomenal, but with a character like this, you definitely want to be running him as a captain for sure. Now, with all other dual units, we obviously know that they have their switching effect. So a lot of people might be wondering, what is this character's switch effect? So I just translated this right now on my phone, and it states that this character's switching effect will completely remove special bind on himself. So that is a humongous thumbs up. On top of that, he will also convert his own orb into tandem, which is awesome. That's exactly what they needed, to have a switch effect to guarantee that tandem orb. So whenever you use the special ability, you can get whatever different ability that you want on your characters. So that's freaking awesome. And on top of that, they also will give your entire crew a 1.25 times chain boost. Bro, this team does like everything. Actually, you know, now that I'm thinking about it, the only thing this team actually doesn't do is remove special bind, which is interesting. I mean, you can switch out the old Reiju for the, you can switch out the old Reiju for the new Reiju, I guess. But interesting, this character, like, none of these characters on this new batch remove special bind, so I don't think it's that big of a problem because you can definitely do replacements on this team. But it's great that this character with their switching effect guarantees the tandem orb. You can activate your other abilities, so that's really, really awesome. Now, in terms of the captain effects of their singular units, so we've got Sanji here. Now, from what I can read, this character will boost powerhouse characters' attack by 3.5 times and also give them a 1.25 times health boost, and recovery and tandem are going to be matching. But remember, you need to have 6 powerhouse characters on your crew. But that's awesome though, a base 3.5, 1.25 health, and 2 of the 7 natural orbs are beneficial, amazing. And then we move on to Judge. Now Judge's captain ability is actually a little bit different. I just did a translation here on this actual team, and it makes this particular unit a little bit more interesting in terms of what they can do. So when we look at Sanji, we already had a look at Sanji, you need to have 6 powerhouse characters on your crew, which we knew that was correct. However, with Judge, it states that in order to get your boost, you need to have 1 of every color on your team. So that actually makes this quite interesting, because it means that with your crew, you need to make sure that you have a full team of powerhouse and 1 of each color. So that definitely makes team building with this guy very, very interesting. I don't know, you know, if they were both just 6 powerhouse and they were like that, I think it would have been completely fine. But Judge having that effect makes things very, very interesting. So you need to make sure you have 1 of every color in order for you to actually, you know, use Judge. So man, I'm a little bit disappointed in that. I would have loved to have seen it just be 6 powerhouse like Sanji, but it is what it is. You know, it makes the unit more unique, of course. So you need to make sure you need to fulfill both of the conditions so that you can actually get this massive boost of 4.25 and 3 matching orbs to your powerhouse team. Absolutely crazy. So anyways, that is going to fully complete this video, guys. Hopefully you guys did enjoy this video, and if you guys did enjoy it, make sure to leave a like, and if you want to stay up to date with all the content I post, including more One Piece Treasure Cruise content, make sure to hit the subscribe button down below. But other than that, guys, I'll see you guys within the next video.